right, man. It's your boy Boss. Ooh-wee. And today, we gonna talk about what a lot of people ain't talking about. I think it's something that's going over a lot of the Cowboy Nation head. Not saying they not smart, but this is something that's kind of complicated that I'm gonna talk about today. It's been in the headlines, but it's not major talking points because it really helps with what I'm getting ready to talk about for you to have some type of financial background. I actually do. I'm not bragging, but what I'm doing is I'm just basically saying I understand the numbers a little bit. Okay. The numbers don't intimidate me, so we gonna just kind of talk about this very intelligently as much as I can. Alright. So y'all get ready because I see a major window opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys. And not a minor one, a major one. So what we talking about today is Dak Prescott on a long-term extension opens up the Dallas Cowboys window wide for years. Woo. And it makes sense. It's just, do we got the balls to do it? Now, the first time the Dallas Cowboys tried to negotiate with Dak, they greatly fumbled. Not minorly fumbled, greatly fumbled. Everybody barks still to this day at the number 40 million. But what if I told you that Dak could have signed for at least 28 to 29, at the most 30 million in 2018? But Dallas Cowboys, they kept disrespecting him with offers that was not conducive to his counterparts. So we ain't gonna get into much of that history, and you can't make up for that major loss, what's called opportunity cost. But they can do something now that can open up the window and just try to get better. So we gonna talk about it and be right back. Let's go. Let's go. The OC and the whole crew. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, dog. Come on. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Come on, Neds. Have a seat. Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. This is a real topic today because I see an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to get aggressive. They have been hinting on getting aggressive in this area for the last week. This is something that's very huge. It's actually exponential because this opens up a big ticket and a big opportunity for people that have been wanting the Dallas Cowboys to go all in. It actually starts with freeing up cash. And one of the best ways to do that is a long-term extension. So you've been seeing, Jerry and them kind of talk about that. And so we go kind of get into the numbers real quick. But before I do that, let me go first see who all in the building. And Jessica already getting on everybody about them likes. I appreciate that, Jessica. let's let them get in the building first. Let's let them get in the building first, Jessica. Then we go get on them. Because I appreciate that. I just want to make sure we're in a full house before I hold people accountable to those likes. But you right, definitely hit them likes. Everybody hit them likes, man. You helping out. And if you've been kind of watching for any amount of time and you don't know to hit them likes when you're coming in the door, man, where you been, man? Come on now, you should know better. So I see. Oh my God. All right, so here we go. So we go start off with you, big dog. My brother say, no extension, draft Hendon Hooker. No, bro. We not going to no young draft choices to try to take care of this window. We not dealing with those unknowns. That's not mature. That's not actually wise. You know what you got in Dak. You have no idea what you have in Hendon Hooker. That's a prospect. You know what you got, all right? So, no. So, but we gonna talk about this now. We gonna talk high level today, all right? So I see Cool G in the building, William Blackwell in the building, Sadiq was in City, Trips, Cowboy Mac, Jazzy Jeff, Keystone, Jessica. We see Trey G, Albert Smith. I see y'all. So let's just kind of get into it. So it's a couple of things we can kind of start this off with, all right? Because this is gonna be kind of in depth. So let's first take a look at the Dak contract itself. All right, we're gonna just take a look at this contract. We're gonna talk about it. All right. So the first key thing that I'm gonna say that's super important. Let me fix this real quick. I gotta fix this. Hold on real quick. Yeah, that's better. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna say to everybody, all right, what tricks a lot of people, okay, is that the window is in the cap hit, not the average per year. I'm gonna say that again. The window is in the cap hit, not in the average per year. All right. So what does that mean? All right, so let's make this bigger. So most people, when they talk about Dak Prescott, they talk about the average. Dak done messed up. He done messed up. We can't pay people because they paying them $40 million. Those people are looking at the average. And this is the sad thing when we talk about the average. All right, when we talking about the average salary, let me explain something that's real important that some people might not understand. When you're talking about the average salary, the average salary is what front office and teams use to manipulate fans. Because a lot of fans think because they see the average of 40 million, that every year 40 million is coming out of the cap. It's not true. So, but most people kind of look at it like this, and this is how a lot of people got manipulated with the Amari Cooper. So front office and teams, when they trying to manipulate you, they're gonna talk in averages. They're gonna say, we like for instance, a perfect example. When Jerry Jones was talking about Amari Cooper, he talked about we was able to pay more players when we got rid of Amari Cooper because we didn't have to pay 20 million. He was talking about the average. But see, the other side that he wasn't talking about was the cap hit, which would have been lowered if he would have restructured Amari Cooper's contract. The cap hit would have been greatly lowered to make room for the run that we could have had with Amari in 2022. So just keep in mind, just telling y'all the truth, the average is what people go and teams manipulate fans with. The real number again is the cap hit. All right. So here we go. So if we look at Dak in 2021, hold on, let me get this. This is where this is more legible. Y'all give me 1 second. Because I'm trying to make this to where you can see everything. All right, there it is. You should be able to see it now. Okay. All right. So in 2021, all right, I got the mouse over it, okay? I got the mouse over it. Why would anybody be crying, okay, about Dak's $40 million when the cap hit to the team was only $17 million? Why cry? All right. So then this previous year, 2022 season, the cap hit for Dak was only $19 million. So these 2 years was the window years. But going into 2023, the new cap hit is projected to be $49 million. So now it's getting tighter, because now the Dallas Cowboys got to make some team building decisions based on a $49 million cap projected hit on Dak. So you also got, hoping I'm making sense to y'all, because I'm really trying to take my time through this. So with a $49 million cap hit, that could cause some problems, especially when you have pending guys that you want to pay, i.e. Diggs, i.e. CD Lamb, i.e. Micah Parsons. Those are going to be some big contracts coming up. And if you want to try to keep this window alive, how do you handle that $49 million? All right. So that's what we're talking about today. How to handle that $49 million. All right. And to get that down. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear this because they got feelings about Dak. That's all about just honestly pure feelings. Like most of the stuff and the way that people feel about Dak is truly, honestly, not based on logic. Most of it is just feelings. So we gonna really talk about this from common sense. We gonna look at 2 articles first that's gonna break this down. All right. So one, we go talk about this with the big homie Mike Fisher, who I think did a pretty good job of breaking this down. So this came out February 1st. Okay. And he say Dak Prescott breaking. Cowboys confirm new contract plan. Dallas QB for 10 more years. Now, before I get into this, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what I think the Dallas Cowboys should do. Hold your breath. I'm going to prove this too. I'm telling you, this is exactly what I think the Dallas Cowboys should do. I think they should do a new contract for Dak, extend Dak with either 2 options. A $50 million contract for 8 years. That total contract value would be $402 million. And I think they should do that. Hold on real quick. We got us a super chat from my boy Blackwell. Black he say, boss, don't they lower the cap hit by restructuring it to a bonus? Yeah, you can, but I'm gonna be honest. It would be much better. And I'm gonna break this down. It would be much better to go ahead and just throw a huge amount of upfront money with lower cap hits, and we gonna talk about that, right? Because they talking about extending Dak, and they talking about 10 years is how long 10 or more years. So if you're looking at Dak for 10 years, go ahead and throw one of the best contracts at him. I'm gonna explain why. Another thing you should do with this 8-year contract, in my opinion, is go ahead and guarantee him around $235 million, which will be an all-time record in guarantee. The reason why they should do that is because this is an 8-year contract. And with an 8-year contract, you want to entice Dak to sign this deal by giving him a lot of money guaranteed. All right, and we gonna talk about that. And it makes sense to do it that way. I'm gonna show you a whole lot of reasons why it makes sense to do it that way. All right. Another thing they could do is they could offer Dak a 6-year contract, which is what I hope they do, and what they historically have done. Most of our best. Now, my boy Keystone say, I say 3-year, boss. See, you sound like Dak agent right now, Keystone. See, I know where Keystone going. See, boy, you sound like Dak agent right there, boy, because that would be smarter short-term contracts. But if I'm the Cowboys and I'm trying to entice Dak, I'm trying to offer him a long-term contract, but with a lot of guarantee in that contract. I would even prefer the 8-year contract, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, because remember, this thumbnail is about us opening up the window for a long time. All right, yeah, so for a long time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't know this, but no, don't say that 6 to 8 ain't happening. It could happen. It definitely could happen. See, you saying the 6 to 8 contract, somebody say hit unsubscribe for 8 years. Yeah, some of y'all, okay. If you saying that and you ain't went through the numbers, you in your emotions. But he say, yeah, that 6 to 8 ain't happening. Well, it's happened before, okay, with our players. It's happened before with our players. Matter of fact, this happened with T. Smith. So let me go ahead and show y'all real quick, because you know I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm gonna go through the history of this first. I'm gonna go through the history of this, then I'm gonna break down all this money. All right. So, and then after I break down the money, then I'm gonna be open to kind of the back and forth and the different people that got issues with what I'm talking about. All right, so hold on real quick. All right, let me first get my presentation ready, because this is the crazy thing about this presentation I'm getting ready to show y'all. This is a presentation that I did when we first started doing Boss Cowboy Sports. This was the very first thing. One of the first shows that I've ever done was on this topic I'm getting ready to go over with y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, so here we go. So let me show this real quick. So in one of my first shows, a lot of people don't even know I did this. All right, I did a forecast. Hold on real quick. Let me make this. I got to make this presentation a little bit. Let me move it over a little bit. There it is. All right. So I did a whole presentation where I looked at likely where the cap was going. So stay with me, okay? And what's in blue at the time was historical. All right, hold on real quick. Let me make it to where you can see the years. Hold on. Okay, there go the years. All right. Matter of fact, let me zoom out a little bit. All right, zooming out, you can see everything a little bit better. All right, so now you can see the years. All right. So everything in blue at that time when I did this presentation was historical. Everything in green was forecasted, and red was the current year at that time. All right. So we go kind of explain this and go forward. So here we go. So I made a forecast of what was going to happen between 2022 and 2023 and 2024. So stay with me. All right. So the good thing is now we have the actuals. So when I did this presentation, I forecasted the new cap in 2022 to be 250 million. Ooh. And then in 2023, I forecasted the cap to be 400 million. You're like, God dog, boss. How did you come up with them old crazy forecasts? Well, first, I looked at history. So stay with me first. So in history, they was talking about what was getting ready to happen with the television rights and how it was going to shake out for the next decade, right? This guy who writes for from CNBC, one of the top financial analysts in the world, Alex Sherman, okay? We also had Alex Sherman on the show where we talked about, now this is guy's a financial expert where you can watch him literally on the news about financial analysis, and he deals heavily with sports and contracts, forecasting, and a whole lot of big picture stuff. So we did a show with it. Now, we was very small at this time. People didn't even know we was on YouTube, but we had a big fish. And we was talking about the projections. So first of all, there's historical data that showed it was possible to have a cap spike that much because it actually happened with basketball. All right. So in basketball, if you look back and you look at what happened with basketball, the NBA announced a 9-year extension with ESPN Turner through 2025. And what happened from that, just like what happened with the salary cap with the NFL, it was a massive spike from the new television deals. And a lot of people don't know this, but what happens is players are paid based on a percentage of the cap. So you can see the new deal basically went into effect around 2014. So if you look at the graph and you see what happened in actual history, around 2014, the cap went from 930 million all the way to 2.7 billion. And the salaries to NBA players begin to explode. So y'all stay with me because I'm going to come back to this because this is super important. So then when you look at the fact that they was also projecting that expect TV right fees sports to soar, right? So around that time, all the projections was looking like the cap was finna go crazy. Rumors around that time was saying the league was discussing TV broadcasting deals worth more than $100 billion. So when I made this forecast, it was based on the news at that time. But now we sitting in the actuals. So this is what actually happened. So the actuals of what happened was the fact that the new cap hit for 2022 ended up being 208 million. And the actual projection for 2023 cap was 224 million. So I want to first explain that so we can now know what actually happened from what I projected. So in 2020, the new CBA was completed, but will likely cause a total cap spike in the 2022 total cap. The likely 2021 extra game and the extra playoff teams will help the league revenues. This is what I said when we first started Boss Cowboy Sports. The question is, was I right? So what I talked about was this new CBA in 2020, when the new CBA was done, was going to greatly spike the 2022 cap. Was I right? Yes. Yes, it greatly spiked it. All right. So then we talked about COVID. So with COVID hit America by 2020, but the cap effect from the loss of stadium revenues allocated to 2021. If it were no COVID, the total the 2021 total cap would have been approximately 208 million. All right. So guess what it ended up being in 2022? Exactly what I predicted. What it should have been in 2021. So, boss, how did you predict that? All right. So all of this is leading to Dak. So you got to stay with me. All right. This is kind of like school, but this is only for the people that want to know. Like, if people really want to know,
you want answers,
then just sit back, and just kind of, I'm gonna explain everything. All right. I'm gonna explain this in great detail to where it's gonna make sense. What I'm saying, we need to likely offer Dak a long-term contract for a long-term window opportunity. All right. So then, as we looking right at this history, and we go lead up to Dak. So y'all stay with me, because we go use Tyron Smith as an example. For those who said, don't offer Dak a 6 or 8 year. No, you want to offer Dak a 6 or 8 year big contract. So COVID started in 2020, but affected the 2021 cap. That's a fact. So that's why I got 2020 highlighted. You see, I got it highlighted in yellow. So COVID first broke out in 2020, but what happened is the revenue loss from COVID bled into 2021. That's why for the first time it was a reduction in the cap in over 10 years. And yes, Life Crazy, you hit it perfect. Mahomes got the best deal, and we gonna prove that. We gonna go all the way through that. But why did I hit on the nail that 208 million projection? Because if you go look through the history of the cap, you can see from 2013 to 2019, there was approximately every year about a $10 million increase in the cap every year. So it went from 123 to 133, 10 million. 133 to 143, increased by 10 million. 143 to 155, an increase by 12 million. And see, some of y'all say Dak is not a Mahomes type. It's not about that, Pastor, and we go talk about that. It ain't got nothing to do with being Mahomes. Nothing. It has zero to do with being Mahomes. It has everything to do with financing for the future in the smartest way possible. I'm going to get to that, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to talk about, you don't give Dak a Mahomes type contract. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, and it make all the sense in the world, and we go explain that. All right, but then between 2016 and 2017, it was an $11 million increase. Then from 2017 to 2018, it was a $10 million increase. Between 2018 and 2019, it was an $11 million increase. From 2019 to 2020, it was a $10 million increase. So it's pretty easy to see under the old CBA agreement that the average per year of growth of the league was around $10 million on the cap. So that's why I was easily able to forecast that if it wouldn't have been for COVID, we or the league would have likely hit around 208 million. I predicted that, and that's what happened in 2022, because you could see the growth and the trend of what was happening with the cap and the traditional league growth. It's very historical, factual. All right. So here we go. So then the ESPN Monday Night Football deal expires in 2021, but revenues will likely greatly spike the 2022 cap space. Was I right? Yes, it did. The cap went from 185 to 208, which is a major spike in the cap. It was one of the biggest increases in 1 year in NFL history. So that played out just like I said. So then number 3, I said 2021 potential extra game and extra playoff teams will spike revenues for 2022 if approved. We now know that that was approved in the CBA. So the extra game that started from the CBA but that actually started in 2021, spiked the cap of 2022. Because you got an extra game based on teams being able to advertise, which then bled into 2022. So y'all was dead right on that. That happened. Then the new president, Joe Biden, is making it a goal to have every American vaccinated by July 2021. If he succeeds and if the vaccines work, stadium revenues will return to the 2022 NFL normal growth rates. That's what I predicted. Let's see, did that happen? So if we look at the growth rates, it did return right back to what I said it was going to happen. It went right back up to 208 million. And that's because the stadiums then began to be full again, which helped with the revenues, which then bled into the next year's cap. So then this happened. CBS, Fox, NBC, and Direct Ticket television deals expire in 2022, but the revenues will likely greatly spike the 2023 cap space. Did that happen? Yes. Yes, the biggest spike in NFL history was from Bullet 5. And that's exactly what happened. This was predictable that this was going to happen, that it was going to be a great spike. And this is leading to Dak. And this is also why Dak on his second contract did not want to do a 6-year deal. Because with a spike this big, why would you hold and delay getting into this new market? Y'all see what I'm saying? Why would you want to do a 6-year deal on your second contract, which was his first big contract, if you know with a 4-year deal you're gonna be able to get right back into the 2023 2024 market and take advantage of the spike and the exponential spike of the cap? And that's where we are right now. We are in 2023 with the biggest spike in NFL history. This is where it makes sense to go ahead and pay Dak a long-term contract, because now the cap is going to stabilize because the revenues have stabilized because of the new television contracts. So any smart player with a smart agent wanted to wait to 2023 to start negotiating new deals, because you getting ready to make a whole lot of money just because you waited at the right time. So, but we go get into why it makes sense to do a long-term contract. All right. So, but I want to get a background on that stuff. Now we go use Tyron Smith as an example of how somebody said that 6 or 8 year contract ain't gonna happen, boss. It's not gonna happen, boss. It's not gonna happen, boss. Unsubscribe. Okay, well, some of y'all don't know this, but it's happened before. And here it is. Here it is. In 2014, according to Spot Track, Tyron Smith signed a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. Tyron signed for 8 years and a total contract of $97 million. The average per year, or APY, was $12.2 million per year. The average per year of $12.2 million was around 9.17 of the total cap. So look, so here's on the graph. Here's the graph. Let me get my head out the way. So you can see when he signed this, the cap at that time was 133 million. Okay, so he got around 9.17% of that total cap in 2014, which totaled around 12.2 million. But remember, he had an 8-year contract. That's key. And let me show you how this helped Dallas. So if you just look, what happened is the cap, just pay attention to the diagram. All right, because I'm trying to make this real easy. All right, what happened is as the cap continued to rise, Tyron Smith average per year did not. So he wasn't able to take advantage of the increases in cap space. So basically at the time of signing, it was a mega blockbuster deal. Around this time, he is the most team friendliest contract in the NFL. And Mahomes is too, and Dak would be too, if we had the nuts to go ahead and sign Dak to a big contract now. And guess what it would also do? It would free up more cap space. We go talk about that. So then let's ask this question. Or let's look at this. Even with the loss of the 2020 COVID-19 revenues, Tyron Smith's average per year will account for approximately 6.5% of the total cap, which then basically made him a super deal. Because remember, when he first signed his deal in 2014, it was 9.7% of the cap. Even when the cap lowered because of COVID in 2021, he still was only 6.5% of the total cap, way under his market. So check this out. So I'm just kind of making the case where it don't matter if he Mahomes or not or whoever. It more so matters is, do you view him as a long-term quarterback, and do you want to free up space to build around him for the next 4 to 5 years? So I asked this question. What if Tyron Smith fought for contracts that was like his counterparts? So let's answer that question. What if? So let's go back to the diagram, and this is going to answer it. Here we go. So let me get my head out the way. So remember, so somebody already said, boss, it would never happen, boss, they would never ever do that, boss. No, history says certain players have signed long-term contracts. Tyron did it. Mahomes did it. It's all about throwing a lot of money at them up front. So check this out. So the contract date for Tyron Smith was July 30th, 2014. At that time, he was the highest by far. His average per year was 12.2. But see, after 4 years, he was a great deal. Because look at Nate Soldier. Let me ask you a question. Who was better 3 years ago, Tyron Smith or Nate Soldier? Who was better? Matter of fact, this is now 4 years ago. Who was better, Tyron Smith or Nate Soldier? Come on now, answer that question now. Answer that question. Clearly, T. Smith was better. But if you look at the benefit of a reasonable tackle in 2018 because of an increasing cap, remember they are all paid based on a percentage of cap. Now Nate Soldier got an average of 15.5. Ronnie Stanley in 2020 got an average of 19.75. Laramie Tunsil did a 3-year contract and got an average of 22 million. David in 2020 got an average of 23 million. And we only talking about 6 years after Tyron signed his original contract. That's the benefit of the long-term contracts to the team. That's why you want to entice Dak with an amount that's mega now. It will be mega now, but it would be peanuts in the future. And if you give him a long-term, we go talk about this too. We go break all of this down. If you give Dak a long-term contract, you also give the team a whole lot more room to restructure, which then makes a lot of room for future runs. So this is the key. Tyron Smith, let me put my head back up here, was performing at an extremely high level in 2018. So the same percentage of the 2014 cap and a 4-year deal would have been a normal offer. A normal offer. So remember, he was 9.1% of the 2014 cap. So what you got to do is you got to say, okay, what did he lose by having an 8-year contract? That's how you got to figure that out. So what you do is you take that 9.17, which was the percentage of the cap for the top tackle in 2014. You do that same number in 2018, and then you calculate the difference to figure out what was the career loss for T. Smith. So then when we do that, this is what it looked like. So in 2018, if you took that 9.17 and you multiplied it by the new cap amount that was in 2018, so basically if he would have did like his counterparts and did 4-year contracts, when it was time for him to get a new deal, he would have got around 16.2 versus the 12.2 on average. So what does that look like, and what does that come out to when we calculate the difference? So if he does another 4-year contract, now instead of 12.2 on average, he's taking advantage of the rising cap where he was able to get back into the market in 2018. So then you subtract the difference. And when you subtract the difference, 16.2 minus 12.2 shows you how much he left on the table with a long-term deal. And when you do the math, the team-friendly duration cost him approximately $16 million in total, and put approximately $16 million back into the Dallas Cowboys cap. Somebody say you always rebuilding. I don't know what you mean by that, dog. Because with this, you're not even rebuilding. What you're doing is you giving Dak a deal right now. All right, let me explain it like this, because this is the best way to explain it. And I'm using Tyron Smith as an example of how this could be done. So what you really want to do is you want to be ahead of the wave. You don't want to be behind the wave. All surfers know the benefit of getting ahead of the wave. They used to teach us that in the business school. You got to be able to look out into the horizon and see what's coming, and then seize those opportunities before they get here. Okay? And remember, I also said the window is in the cap hit, not the average per year. It's the cap hit. That is the window. So it's all about getting that window and creating that window. So the question is, what if Dak does a 6-year to 8-year extension like T. Smith and Mahomes? That's the question. So let's get back to the presentation. But I want to give the background of 8-year contracts, and let's go back to Mike Fisher, because like I say, listen, y'all. When we talk about stuff on Boss Cowboy Sports, you gotta want answers.
You want answers?
Because see, some of this stuff is kind of complicated. But what we try to do is we try to break this down in the simplest ways possible, so you can kind of see the big picture of what we talking about. But if
you can't handle the truth
and you in your emotions, you gonna miss what I'm saying. Because some people, they only looking at it like, don't give Dak a long-term contract. I don't believe in Dak. Well, if you want to build around Dak, you want to do what you need to do to stay ahead of the wave to be able to build around Dak. All right, you want to get ahead of the wave. And so here we go. We go to Mike Fisher's I'm just breaking this down, y'all. So we just breaking this down. So remember, they put out there that they see Dak as a QB for 10 more years. Well, if you see Dak for 10 more years, offer him a contract that states, I see you like a 10-year quarterback. Yeah. And so this is the benefit. All right, I'm gonna just read this too. I hate reading. I just really hate reading to y'all. But Mike Fisher made this so easy to understand. Sometimes you just gotta just read it. That's like Mike made this so simple. Hold on real quick. Hey, I'm doing a show. Let me call you back. All right. So check this out. He made this so simple. Right? Because it really is this simple how he explained this too. So let me make it bigger. We go talk about this. All right. So like Mike Fisher talked about Dak being signed through 2024. Okay. So Dallas is locked in 2 more years. Right? He is set to count $49 million against the 2023 salary cap. All right, so let's double check that. Nope, that's not it. Here, where's my information on Dak? There it is. Yep, Mike Fisher got his number right. He said 49 million. There it is. You can go check it for yourself on the spot track. Go check it for yourself. And yes, Dak is going to account with a cap hit of 49 million. Let me make that bigger in case you can't see it. All right. 49 million. All right, that's the cap hit. All right, because remember, I'm gonna say this again in case some people got lost in the translation. The window is in the cap hit, not the average per year. So remember, when he first signed his deal, his cap hit was only 17 million. That's a time to go for it. His second year under his new contract, his cap hit was only 19 million. That's a time to go for it. Now, the third year of his contract, the cap hit is 49 million. What you go do, Dallas? Let's get back to Mike Fisher's fire article. All right. He said that leaves 2 options. The first one is difficult to stomach and would largely be the result of Dallas deciding that even after making him 40 million APY, which is average per year quarterback, that Dak isn't the guy. Owner Jerry Jones tells us quite the opposite, insisting that he'll take his chances with Dak again and again every time. And that actually makes sense because the good thing is now you see how Dak conducts himself being wealthy. See, that was important for the Joneses to see. Like, did Dak change his work ethic when he got paid? Nope. He was still first one in, last one out. So now that you watched him, because it's people that after they get paid, they change, dog.
Another one.
They change. Some people, i.e. Kyler Murray, sometimes you want to watch these boys after they got their contract because they change. But see, we now know what Dak is. We know because we saw you conduct yourself with a major contract. He did not change. That makes Dak a good bet. Ooh, see, boys, not ready for this, Big Dad. Big Dad, you started this, dog. Ooh, Big Dad. Look what Big Dad said. Let me get my head out the way. Big Dad, because this is real. See, this is when you keeping it real. He say Tony Romo change. See, y'all don't want to hear that. Ooh, y'all don't want to hear the truth.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interception like Romo.
He did change. Yes, he did. Let's say it again. I need that cash.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interception like Romo.
See, a lot of people ain't gonna talk about how Romo changed like you, Big Dad. Ooh, let's talk about that. Then we gonna get back into this. Ooh,
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interception like Romo.
Talk about that real quick for a second. So, Big Dad. Do y'all remember in 2016 when Dak took Romo's job? One of the most disappointing things happened and most people didn't even peep it. Oh, hold on. You know I gotta hit the button for this with the super chat. She say most of them become the weeboo boys.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
Ooh, yeah, see, because Romo changed. See, Romo, he got a little chubby, dog. See, it's one thing about Romo. People always talk about Romo. You know, Romo arm was way better than Dak. But Romo did not protect his body like Dak. Romo did not make sure he was prepared to play like Dak, because part of being worth that investment is making sure you're in prime shape, making sure those abs are strong. See, because if you got a back issue, how you gonna be chubby, dog? How you gonna be chubby with bro? You need abs with a bad back, dog. He changed.
Oh, hell no! You want answers?
Yeah, and see, this is true. Romo was Hollywood. Have y'all noticed how much more in shape Romo is to be on television than he was as a player? How do you lose weight to be on television? Come on, dog. So when I'm talking about you know who Dak is. I'm not just talking. You saw Dak with money and you know he's still first in, first out. You know that. So you know it's a safe bet to bet on him long term. It ain't even hard because I saw you. You didn't throw interceptions like Romo, and you didn't change up.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
If we locked in, switching up.
Yeah, somebody say slander. Who? I ain't slandering nobody. These are facts. And see, this is how you know it's a fact. Some of y'all just Romo heads. Y'all worship Romo. Y'all can't handle the truth. I understand.
You can't handle the truth.
You just can't handle the truth. Some of y'all just can't handle the truth. I understand. But see, this is well documented. See, what happened in 2016 was greatly disappointing because when Dak was rolling, guess what happened during the season? Romo lost 15 pounds.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
See, those of us who played ball know you ain't supposed to be losing no 15 pounds in the season unless you came into the season out of shape. Because what you really do, for those who played, y'all know I'm telling the truth. You ain't supposed to walk into the season and lose 15 pounds unless you had too much fat on you, dog. Because what most of us doing during the season is maintaining. Yeah, and y'all, I remember this. Some of y'all remember this too. I remember this about Romo when he was trying to get his job back Dez said, I ain't never seen Romo like this. I can even see a six-pack. I've never seen a six-pack on Romo. Bro, hold on. You been in the league all this time and I ain't seen no six-pack? Wait. We gotta purge you, dog. We gotta purge you, bro. How you ain't got no six-pack, dog? You a pro. You a pro. And you had back surgery. And your core, you should have had a 12-pack. You ain't have a 2-pack, fat boy? I don't mean to talk about Romo like that. I ain't mean to call you fat.
It's Mr. Nasty time. Oh, Mr. Nasty time.
You around here nasty. Nasty self. You go literally walk into the season where you needed to lose 15 pounds.
Oh, hell no.
All right, let me get back on Dak and this article. But see, some of y'all need the truth, man. For real.
You want answers?
Some of y'all need the truth. And Big Dow, he came with that. Big Dow, you opened that door, Big Dog. But it was true. And a lot of people can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
But Big Dow, what he said was true. If you keeping it real and you not in here being if you ain't in here being no bopper because you biased towards Romo, he changed from the money. Dak didn't. See, Dak got paid and he got leaner. Do y'all remember looking at Dak coming into training camp? He was like, dang, Dak, you was already in shape, bro. Now you look a little skinny, dog. That boy been putting in that work. And this is after he got paid. What my boy say? Zeke went to Cowboy to tighten up his six-pack. Exactly. All right, let's get back to Mike Fisher, what he was talking about. But I had to break that down because that was a real good point by Big Dow. Big Dow, y'all clap. Matter of fact, y'all clap it up for Big Dow. Clap it up for the big homie. I love that good commentary. When you got people like Big Dow in the building who know these boys, who ain't scared to tell the truth.
You want answers?
Yeah, Jessica, you right. That's why they want him to fail. And that's facts. That is exactly why they want him to fail. So check this out. So Dallas decided that, okay, he said, that is, owner Jerry Jones tells us quite the opposite, insisting he'll take his chances with Dak again and again every time. And it makes sense because you know who he is. He's been consistent with his work ethic and the money. So he's a good bet. He's a good financial bet. And then he said, and then Mike said that fate doesn't erase the playoff failure against the San Francisco 49ers, and it doesn't erase those 15 interceptions, but faith it is. You know, Mike took a little shot at Dak. That was cute. It's cool. So then he said, in the difficult to stomach scenario, because it's really not difficult to stomach this. I mean, when you write stuff like this, to me, you kind of playing to the angry mob fans. You know what I mean? Like it's difficult to stomach extending Dak. No, it's not. Extending Dak actually makes a lot of sense. A whole lot of sense. But we gonna get into the details a little bit better. But yeah, in a difficult to stomach, and it ain't difficult to stomach, bro. It's like, I don't know why you even wrote that, but go ahead, Mike. That's your article. He said the Cowboys stick with Dak and his contract as is, hope to win for the next 2 years, and then say goodbye after 2023. Oh, he actually right on that. That is difficult to stomach because that would be dumb. He right on that. My bad, Mike. I spoke out of context on your article. My bad. He said the roster wouldn't likely improve, nor with the faith gone with Dak. And Mike is right on that because it wouldn't likely improve because remember, if you just leave him alone right now, the cap hit is 49 million. 49 million. So then he said maybe along the way Dallas drafts a successor to Dak, though frankly finding QBs even as good as he represents a challenge. Mike keeping it real. He is. That's facts. So like all these people that be like, oh, just draft a quarterback. That's the laziest analysis in the world. Most people that say stuff like that, they never look at the QB class. Have y'all looked at this QB class? For people that say, we just need to go draft us a quarterback. Dak was in the 4th round. We can get us one. Bro. Have y'all looked at the class? Have y'all looked at the QB class for the last 2 years? It's been trash. Oh, man. And then even if you... Then sometimes we say stuff like, I want me a Joe Burrow. I want me a Justin Fields. I want a Mahomes. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you know what you're really saying when you say you want you a Burrow? You saying you want to almost lose every game the year before. Because you can only get them types if you pick in the top 2 or 3. You can only pick in the top 2 or 3 is if you maybe win 2 games on the whole year. See, a lot of y'all don't even know what you asking for. I want me a Mahomes. I want a Joe Burrow. I'm gonna give my left nut if Dak was Joe Burrow. No, you don't want that, dog. No, you don't. You think you don't, but you just being immature and childish. You're not thinking. Yeah, you falling for the wee fool bullshit.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
I want me some Joe Burrow. I would give anything for Joe Burrow. No, you don't. You don't want that. You want to keep right what we doing right now, where Dak is averaging about 10, 11 wins a year, and go get a whole nother crack at it again next year. Oh man, bro. My boy Aubrey asks, hold on real quick. So listen, y'all. My brother right here asked me. He said, "Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all answer this dude real quick." But he said this. He said, "Boss, you never answer my question. Can Dak read a defense?" How many times have I answered that question? Chat, can y'all please refer him to the times I've explained multiple times that Dak not only reads a defense, he is one of the best in the league at reading defenses. So all you got to go do is go to the video that I did on Dak with the option routes, and you will clearly see that Dak was asked to do what no other quarterback in the whole league is doing. But see, a lot of y'all don't even understand our offense, so you just make these elementary claims that's based on no substance. So it's very elementary to even ask that, because see, I've already documented 1,000 times that we ran a very aggressive option route system. And so with option routes, your quarterback got to be able to read a defense, and guess who else? All the weapons. But in most offenses, most offenses, if they even have option routes, reserve it to a few players, likely just one. Dak had to read option routes for 4 weapons all at the same time. You can't do that unless you can exponentially read a defense. So at some point, we got to get off of the elementary talk and grow up and talk facts. Dak is smart as hell, and some of y'all need to realize that. Dak is one of the only few quarterbacks that ever graduated with a master's degree. Some of y'all don't even know that Dak already got a master's degree. He didn't even have to get the master's degree. He got a master's degree in organizational leadership, but he can't read. See, some of y'all don't even know that you're actually playing into a racist stereotype. Some of y'all don't even know that. See, because that's the knock that they try to do. A lot of people try to do against black quarterbacks. Some of y'all don't even recognize it. That when you start saying he can't read, see, you gotta think bigger than that. You gotta see what the ploy is, and you gotta know better than to say certain things. You gotta know better than that. See, I know better than that because I actually researched my offense and I know how complicated it is. It's so complicated that even Mike McCarthy said, I've never been a fan of option routes and I've never been in a system with so many option routes. So all these, y'all, this 7 years and y'all still saying he can't read? Bruh, come on, bruh. This is crazy. And listen, if Dak couldn't read a defense, it would have showed up day one. It would have showed up literally day one. But see, he could read a defense day one. That's why I only had 4 interceptions when he was a raw rookie. Just some things we just need to stop saying, bro. Just some things, honestly, is showing that we don't do enough research. Just keeping it real. Then Showtime Sports Media said Dak can get it done until he can't. Can his time here or elsewhere play out before we judge like people? Yeah, exactly, bro. And like I saw a man Law getting into it with a dude today. He would really try to get on Law. Man, I get tired of y'all comparing him. I get tired of y'all comparing him to people like Peyton Manning. And Law was just making a point. He was like, in the same amount of time, Peyton Manning had less production, less playoff wins, and no Super Bowl. In other words, you gotta build around Dak. And don't give up hope, because it's great quarterbacks that sometimes take a while to win it. I.e. also Matthew Stafford. But some of us just, Dak will never win. How do you know? You God? You God? You're not God, bro. Stop. And then, bottom line is this. Dak is better than Hurts. Dak is also better than Purdy. He's better than both of them, and both of them dudes going to the Super Bowl. So don't act like it's impossible. Just don't ask your quarterback. Don't get rid of weapons and then say, we go give you a number 2, a number 3, and a number 4 weapon that has literally some of the worst separation in the league. And we go ahead and have you with an emerging number 1 in CD Lamb. How about you not be dumb enough to do stuff like that? Yeah, so anyway, let me get back to this Mike Fisher fire article real quick. I just want to address that. Just had to keep it real, man, because some people, they...
You want answers?
But then some people can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
But I'm going to give you the truth anyway. Whether you can handle it or not, at least you go get it here. Now, a lot of people go lie to you. A lot of people go straight up lie to you. They go play on your emotions. I'm not going to do that. And then some of y'all... All right, let me keep going. So then Mike Fisher break down option 2. This is option 2. He said the easiest way to make the roster building finance work is, I like this. He said gulp. He's selling this. Mike Fisher was selling the hell out of this. He was selling this. That boy said gulp. Hold on real quick. He said extend Prescott's contract? Oh, that was always the plan, as was Prescott and the Cowboys being Super Bowl level successes, and it probably still is the plan. Now watch this. Simply, Dallas would add 4 years. Now I disagree with this part. I want them to add 6 to 8 years. Okay, we gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit more detail in a minute. But he said Dallas would add 4 years to his existing deal, while also paying him a signing bonus that was spread cap-wise over the years, while also carving down his base salary to the point where there's room to add to the roster around him. So this is option 2. And then this is dollar-wise and it's commonplace. Go ahead and break this down, Mike. This is a good article. He's breaking this down so well. I got to give Fisher his props on this, because this is well written, easy to understand. He said this is dollar-wise. It is commonplace. The Rams last March did this with Matthew Stafford, giving him a 4-year extension worth $160 million. He got a $63 million signing bonus And LA got his 2022 and 2023 base salaries down amazingly to 1.5 million was his base salary, and his cap impact down to 13 million and 20 million respectively, basically. So 13 million 1 year, 20 million the year after. And this was from doing an extension. So this is why I said, and I want to say this again, a lot of people, they keep falling for the wee woo, but the window again is in the cap hit, not in the average per year. It's the cap hit. It's about doing what you gotta do to get that cap hit down so that you can actually build around your franchise quarterback. But I'm gonna say this again, just in case we get some people coming in late. I'm gonna say this again. When front office want to manipulate you, they always talk about the average. Yeah, and then yeah, go ahead and block James Strickland. Yeah, block him. Yeah, good shot. I like that. Who is that? Truth only. Truth only. We got shooters in here. See, when y'all come in here with that hating,
everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
You gonna get shot, bro. You can't come in here just being dumb and hating on Dak out of ignorance. It won't last up in here. You gonna get shot. Boys in here are shooters.
Everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
You ain't gonna last, dog. You gotta come in here and talk with some intelligence. You can't come in here with that trolling, bro.
Everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
Cause some of you Cowboy fans be switching up.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
We don't tolerate that over here, big dog. Go to somebody else's channel. I don't want none of y'all that bad. I don't want now one of y'all weirdo Cowboy fans that bad to where y'all feel safe to really come in and just piss on your quarterback, talking dumb as hell, and then think you gonna be safe. Nah, bruh. Nah, you switching up. You fake.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
But some of y'all actually got concerns about Dak. I ain't got no problem with people that got concerns on Dak. I ain't got no problem with that. That's cool. If you got concerns, I'm cool with that. But all these Dak is ass, Dak is trash. While I'm talking facts and intelligence, bro, yeah, you gonna get shot, bro.
I be trying to figure out, like, why I want you to be loyal to them. They ain't loyal to you. I don't really get this.
I don't get that. So, my boy Blackwell said, we also should want to give Dak a new deal before Lamar Jackson gets his deal. Bro, you already ahead of me. You already ahead of me. And a whole lot of balls go get their deal that we want Dallas to get in front of. Facts. But boy say let the trolls eat. Nah, bro, I don't let trolls eat. I'm sorry, I don't let trolls feel safe, dog. I'm sorry, I don't. Because if you let one troll eat, next thing you know, if you just make it a safe place for trolls, next thing gonna happen that everybody gonna be jumping in here feeling like it's a safe place to hate and talk stupid. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, I don't make it a safe place. I make them trolls uncomfortable. That's my style. I'm always stay like that. Because it's enough smart, intelligent, fair-minded Cowboy fans to have this chat poisoned by poisonous Cowboy fans. I don't want them. I want to be able to talk with intelligence about things we might disagree about. You know what I mean? Now Herbert go break the bank. Watch. Ooh, y'all gonna be shocked when y'all see Burrow get paid. Y'all gonna be shocked. So Burrow will get about 50 million. Watch, mark my word. Yeah, and somebody asked Boss, who was more important to sign first, Diggs or CD? Diggs. Diggs is up now. You got a 5th-year option on CD Lamb. Plus, Diggs is likely hungrier because he getting 2nd-round money versus CD Lamb getting that 1st-round money. If I'm Diggs, I'm like, me first, dog. You already living this good life, this baller life. I'm trying to get like you. And I earned it. So, yeah. You next. I'm first. That's how I would be if I was Diggs. And then Blackwell say, and immediately after we get Dak a new deal, we need to jump out there and lock down Diggs. Exactly. So here we go. Let me get back to this fire article because it's getting to that. So here we go. Let me get back into this. Man, This is a lot of information, but hey, it's what it is. If y'all want the 42 likes with 250. Oh no, we gotta do better than that. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let me first break down this point, then I'm gonna get on y'all for that. Them likes, y'all doing me too bad. To be getting this level of information with 48 likes. Oh no. Oh no. That's okay, here we go. Let me keep going. He said, imagine the 2023 Cowboys whittling Dak's 49 million cap number. Remember, it's a cap hit of 49 million, all right, down to 13 million. Let me say that again. Imagine the 2023 Cowboys whittling Dak's 49 million cap number in 2023 down to 13 million. And Baola, you just magically, this is to your point, Blackwell, invented 36 million of cap room that can eventually help you sign Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Mike and Parsons, and maybe a big fish outside free agency. Ooh. Yeah. So, and that's the deal when you do an extension. That's why I'm going to say again. I'm going to keep saying this until it clicks, because some people ain't clicking. The only thing some people only see and hear 40 million. 40 million. Dak is 40 million. No, it's not the average per year. It's about the cap hit. And the window, I'm going to say that again, is in the cap hit. If anybody's concerned about a certain window for a certain period of time, in this potential window, and you right about Steele too, Black. You right. I agree with Steele. But if you're talking about a window in this period of time, in this window, you want to free up right now this young team to be able to take advantage, and that's why this is why I'm labeled this. Dak Prescott on a long-term extension opens up the Dallas Cowboys window wide for years. All right, because that's why I don't like the idea of a 4-year contract. I don't like that idea. I want Dak on a 6-year contract. So here we go. So hold on. Let me get back down to some of the facts. All right. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, just to kind of just break it to you. Mahomes got one of the biggest contracts, but Mahomes also got one of the team friendliest contracts. A lot of people don't understand that. Let me break this down. Your boy Mahomes, I'm going to say this again. He got one of the biggest contracts, but he also got, at this very same time, one of the most team friendliest contracts. So let's look at his contract. All right. Let me kind of fix this because I want to make this look a little better. Give me 1 second. You know, I'm all about kind of the look too. You know, you just can't. I like to look a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? It's just me, man. I'm kind of a little bit ADD like that. You know what I'm saying? There it is. I want it like that. Hold on. Let me fix it just a little bit more. Yeah, let's get this thing. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go look at Mahomes real quick, and we go talk about why Mahomes, and while I'm big on trying to give Dak a long-term contract. So let's go look at old Patrick Mahomes. So, you know, when Dak was trying to get his 40 million, everybody kept saying, Dak ain't no Mahomes. Dak ain't no Mahomes. And his average salary was 45 million. Okay? 45. But remember, it's not about that. The real opportunity, I'm going to say it again, is in what? The real opportunity is in the cap hits. So even though he had a $450 million contract, Mahomes, oh my God, his contract is $450 million, boss. Oh my God, his average salary is $45 million, boss. You can't build a team around quarterbacks after you pay them. Nah, that's why I say it again. It's about them cap hits. So, let me explain something real quick about a term a lot of y'all already know this, but I'm gonna explain this, okay? The term is restructure, okay? So we're gonna talk about restructuring, okay? Give me a second. Let me pull this up. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Y'all be patient with your boy. All right, so we got this restructuring knowledge right here. Let's get into it. So this is a perfect order that, you know, explains the restructures, right? What are contract restructures in NFL? Contract restructures are a simple conversion of a base salary or a roster bonus into a signing bonus. The tool allows the organization to spread the hit over a maximum of 5 years. Okay? Whenever a team finds itself short on cap flexibility and needs some space, the most effective short-term fix is to restructure its long-term contract. Some teams can cut or trade players, but contract restructures allows a franchise to keep its roster intact, which is what we should have did with Amari. We had that option and we turned it down because of Kellen Moore, and simultaneously provide instant cap relief. The base salaries of NFL contracts typically aren't guaranteed, but players can receive guaranteed money in the form of signing bonus. The bonuses are considered upfront payments and can be spread out over up to 5 years of the contract for cap purposes. And then check this out. For instance, this is why I want a long-term contract with Dak. Listen. For instance, when the Kansas City Chiefs signed quarterback Patrick Mahomes to a 10-year, $450 million contract, the underlying motive, now listen, the underlying motive behind that decision was to offer the franchise flexibility to maneuver money. That's exactly what Kansas City will do this season with the cap struggles. Yeah. So then when you look at some of the deals that they did, right? Because we will go back and look at that Mahomes deal, right? So this article was written in 2021, okay? So it says that basically Kansas City Chiefs 53-man roster projection has them heavy on offensive line. Why in 2021 was the Kansas City Chiefs heavy on offensive line? Can anybody explain that? Because I thought all you needed to do was pay a quarterback like Mahomes and he should be able to carry a bad offensive line. Oh, do anybody remember Mahomes running for his life in the Super Bowl because of those tackles? I thought quarterbacks, all you had to do was pay them the elite ones, because Dak ain't elite. He not Mahomes. See, Mahomes, he already proved that he can carry a whole team. See, that's the standard on Dak that don't apply to nobody else. So, what you mean y'all building for Mahomes? Wait. What you mean you needed to go heavy on offensive line? Well, let's go look at his contract. So let's take a look at this contract. So who we got? We got his contract again. Let's take a look at this. Let's take our time and look at this. Remember they talked about them restructures can be done over 5 years? Wow, they did a restructure in 2021, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like they said, right? The article is on point that they restructured in 2021, just like the article said, Well, why did they need to make room? Because see, Mahomes was already perfect. He could carry the whole team. Or did he carry the whole team? Oh, I don't think so. Because if we look at it, one of the prospects that they got, obviously in 2021, in round 2, was a guy that's key for them right now, Creed Humphrey. Oh, but boss, that's a draft. You don't count that, boss. What you doing is you nitpicking. They also got them another draft pick for right guard, Trey Smith. Right? Oh, I thought. Wait. I thought Mahomes could carry them. I thought Mahomes ain't need nothing. All you need to do was pay him, and he was gonna carry everybody. Oh no! Looked like they really did what they said. They also invested into Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney. When did they do this? Oh, 2021. Oh, 2021, the same year they restructured. So it looked like what they did with that Mahomes long-term contract is they restructured and took advantage of his long-term deal, spaced it out so that they could build around the weaknesses that hurt Mahomes from winning the whole thing. Oh, 2021. Is that a coincidence that the same year they restructuring is the same year they added all this offensive line talent? Is that a coincidence, or is boss tripping? Is boss tripping? So they put out that they go heavy on the offensive line, and you see in 1 year they restructured to build around Mahomes. Oh, Mahomes don't need no help. See, Dak, he need everything perfect. Mahomes don't. All you do is pay him. He go throw receivers open. You don't need to protect him. He go run around like a lion. He go be able to throw it from 80 yards. He go hurdle the linebacker. He go jump over Jesus. My boy David Watson say, man, I appreciate this. This is a good compliment. I really appreciate this. He said, this is the best explanation of contracts restructures, especially cap, that I've ever heard. I really appreciate that, David. And that's why I say on Boss Cowboy Sports, we really do try to give y'all the truth. Sometimes it's real complicated, but we try to make it simple. But but go look at this. Look at this. 2021. Wow. They go get Joe Thuney. Wow. Ooh. And see, guess what? It was somebody else that they was targeting. It was somebody else that made sense to help them build around Mahomes. He was actually one of the top free agents. Do y'all remember who that was? Orlando Brown. Ooh. And let me see. Let me check this year and see when did this happen. If you guessed, 2022. So it looked like to me that they actually did exactly what they said, is they used the benefit of Mahomes on a long-term contract to be able to restructure money to build around that quarterback. And they did exactly what they said they was gonna do. They said we needed to get an offensive line around Mahomes, and just look at the investments. They drafted and they went into free agency to plug those holes. But the main reasons they was able to do that is because Mahomes had one of the most flexible long-term contracts in the league. So let me show you the power of this. All right. I'm gonna show you another article. That's a fire article. Hold on real quick. Let me go to this article. It's go really, cause listen, I'm trying to give y'all the truth and nothing but the truth, man. I'm trying to make sure that we all on the same page with these facts. Give me 1 second. Let me get this. I got to get this to where this is showing the right way. All right, I think that's showing right. All right, here we go. So here we go. So this article is a good article. I'm gonna put all these links in the description too, by Todd Archer. So we go talk about this, And this is very, very important because this is going to make you get it. Because a lot of people love to say, Dak is no Mahomes, boss. He can't be asking for Mahomes money, boss. I'm going to just tell y'all, I'm being honest with you. It does not matter. It does not matter. See, it was only when it was time for Dak to get paid that they start doing all these silly comparisons between quarterbacks and who deserve what. Because the market already knows, and this is how the market works. When you are considered a franchise quarterback, the agents is going to set the market based on the previous quarterback. So let me explain something before I get into this next article that's going to really explain it. Most people don't know this, but all contracts are agent driven. Agents are the ones that really set the prices for new contracts. And that's why it's called the market. So a market is where you buy and sell goods. So you got to understand the job of an agent, and then you can understand how the agents are the one that drive the market. So here we go. Let me explain it. So when you are an agent, the way that you build your value is by showcasing your ability to get your clients top contracts. So agents are always chasing some kind of headline deal in the contract. So they want anywhere in the contract for it to state highest paid. So whether that's the average per year, they want that, because the lifeblood of an agent is new clients. And when you're able to show based on your old clients that I get my clients max deals, every agent is chasing new deals and record-breaking deals because they're trying to recruit new blood. That's what drives up the market. That's exactly what drives up the market. So agents are always chasing for their clients to set any record. So they either want you to have the highest total guarantee, the total contract. They want you to have the highest there, the highest average per year. They want something to say record. So I want to explain that, so then when I show this, y'all go get it. All right. So here we go. This is very important. Let's go break it down. All right. So remember when Mahomes first signed his deal. When Mahomes first signed his deal, oh my God, it's $45 million. And then everybody was complaining about Dak $40 million. And now Dak is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dak is ranked 8 right now. 8 out of all quarterbacks. And by next year, he gonna be around 13th or 14th if they don't extend him. So let me ask y'all a question. Is Patrick Mahomes better than Deshaun Watson? Answer the question. Is Patrick Mahomes better than Deshaun Watson? Answer the question. Because if that answer is yes, then explain to me, how did Deshaun get 46 on average per year? Because his agent wanted him to have a deal that was just a little bit better than Patrick. Because his agent wants to go get a new big client, and he want to be able to show them, I can go get you that money. Let me ask y'all a question. Is Patrick Mahomes better than Kyler Murray? Huh? Is he better? Huh? So why did Kyler Murray get 46 million. On average. Huh? Is Aaron Rodgers in his late years $5 million a year better than Patrick Mahomes? No. So why on average is he getting 50 million? Cause actually these contracts ain't got nothing to do with your talent compared to your counterparts. It's more about who's next than about who's best. It's about who's next. And see, once you understand that, they can't hit you with the wee woo.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
It's about who's next. It's not about who's best. It's about who's next. And so when you look at the fact, all right, so we just breaking all this down. So when you go look at the fact, and now I'm going to go back to what I talked about in the beginning on why I think these are the best offers. Now let's really break this down. Because I started with this. I'm going to finish with this. All right. The best deal for Dak, because Mike Fisher said that a 4-year extension. I think they should try to do an 8-year extension and be very aggressive about the 8-year extension. Because remember, I talked about Tyron Smith, right? And what happened, and remember what happened is at the time when Tyron Smith signed his first mega contract in 2014, it was record breaking. It was astronomical. It was never heard of. An 8-year contract, it was like, no. But then when you fast forward and you look at Tyron Smith, just 5 years into that contract, and you can see players that he was way better than getting way more money. That's what happens when you sign your players to long-term contracts. But the key to it is you got to entice them to want to do that. So you can't be cheap and do this. You got to throw the sink at them, and you got to spread that cap hit out to open up your window. So why did I pick 235 in total guarantee? Why that number? Well, we got to go look at other people's contracts. So if we go look at other people's contracts, let's start with Watson. Yeah, because see, my boy Watson in a 5-year contract, he got him the highest total guaranteed all time. The highest total guaranteed all time. But see, this is the problem with his contract, especially when it's only a 5-year contract. The problem with his contract is that them cap hits go show up a lot faster. A whole lot faster when you don't space out them contracts over a longer period of time. Them cap hits go hit real hard. And guess what? You don't really have no out. Because see, the dead cap is what you get. If you cut them, that's what you get hit with. So basically, it's showing you that they married to Watson all the way basically to 2027. Because even in 2026, it would cost them $54 million just to let him go. 54. So if you go offer Dak a contract, remember that agent is going to demand that somewhere in that contract it breaks the all-time record. It is. And he should demand that, because he go try to recruit another big quarterback. He got to show on his resume that I'm going to get you paid. And that's what drives up the market. So that's why you got to, but also, why did I pick 50 million? Why that number? Because if you go back and you look, okay, if you go back and you look, hold on, this is the wrong article. Give me a second. It's this article. Nope, it's not that article. Where is that freaking article? Oh, there it is. Because the average per year, that's the current highest average per year, is Aaron Rodgers. So since Aaron Rodgers is only 50 million on average, then give him a slightly higher contract at 50.3 right now to lower your cap number. And you would literally lower your cap number, and you would have way more room because of the multiple years to be able to restructure with Dak. That's why you gotta go with 50.3. And if you Dak, I'm not taking nothing. And for 8 years, unless you show me in this contract that you getting ready to make me the highest paid across almost every category. That's the only way I'm gonna give 8 years of my life to you, Dallas, and lock that number in. Yeah. So if you go do this, you got to be all in on this an extension, and don't play with it. Don't be cheap with it. The other option is 46.2. Why did I pick 46.2? See, notice this trend. Just notice this trend. Deshaun Watson signed for $46 million. Kyler Murray, right after him, $46 million and $100,000. Barely surpassed the previous best. Barely. Why? Because the agent is trying to recruit. So he wants his number slightly above the previous best every time. And if I'm Dak, if I'm gonna do a 6-year contract, you gotta give me right now, on average, more than Kyler Murray. Yes, and see, my boy Kevin Williams say, if Boss gets a contract but throws 17 interceptions, keep that same energy. Actually, bro, this is what I want you to do. I want you to keep the same energy for the first 6 years where Dak never threw that many interceptions. Why can't you do that? See, you want me to keep the energy on 17 interceptions over 1 year, but you want to ignore 6 years over 1 year. Can you keep your same energy? Because, see, if you had common sense, Kevin, you would look at that 1 year as an outlier. Because it was the only time in Dak's whole career that ever happened. But y'all want us to keep that same energy. Why don't you keep the energy on your quarterback? Why don't you have that same optimism that he showed you should have in him when it comes down to protecting the football? See, y'all try to turn it on us. I'm going to turn it back on y'all. You show the same energy, big dog. You go, if they get this new contract, see, all you... See, because this is what be happening. Y'all be pocket watching. And when y'all see numbers like 46, oh, Dak, he not worth 46 million. He not no Mahomes. See, listen, bro. Listen, bro. It's not even about that, dog. All this pocket watching. It ain't even about that. It's about freeing up the cap space to be able to build around Dak. It's really that simple. It's really, honestly, that simple. So, like I said again, the window is in the cap hit, not the average per year. And DA lead. Yeah, see, bro, what's going on, DA? Is a lot of our fans are getting brainwashed. That's the honest to God truth, bro. That's the honest to God truth. And sadly, most don't even know it, that they are literally being straight up brainwashed. Yeah. Hold on, let me go find my boy DA Lee comment. He say, bro, you didn't hear nobody bat an eye about Matt Stafford's picks last year. Dak was winning in spite of the picks, and y'all trashing him. Yeah, bro, like they brainwashed, bro, because that's all they hear in the media. That's all they hear, and most of our fans, they listen to the 4-letter networks that Dak in the interceptions, 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 Dak in the interceptions. Dak got an interception problem. Dak throw a whole lot of interceptions. Boy, that boy Dak. Man, Dak ain't that guy. He throw a lot of interceptions. But when it was Matthew Stafford and Eli Manning, those guys believe in their arm. They be really trying to fit that ball in there. The narrative be totally different. And then guess what? Our fans be agreeing with both sides. Dak throw too many interceptions. And then they also say something like, boy, that Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger. Like, hold on, bro. Wait. Matthew Stafford led the league in interceptions last year, dog. And you ain't gonna say nothing about it, but this year, you telling me to keep the same energy? Nah, bro, you keep the same energy. You do it. But going back to the facts, bro, instead of dealing with the garbage. Going back to the facts, all right? Notice what happened with these contracts. Because I told y'all, and I'm proving to y'all, that these contracts are market-driven. Deshaun Watson, 46. Oh, let's start with Patrick Mahomes. Oh, matter of fact, so we can go with all of them. But just look at the pattern. Let's just look at the pattern of how this works and just say this is a coincidence. Matthew Stafford and Dak, $40 million. Derek Carr, next up, he gets slightly over 40. Wow. Then Josh Allen is next. He gets slightly over Derek Carr. Patrick Mahomes is next. He gets slightly over Josh Allen. Deshaun Watson is next. He gets slightly over Patrick Mahomes. Kyler Murray is next. Y'all see the pattern? Y'all see how it works? So it was only when Dak was time to get paid was we hearing stuff like, Dak is not Aaron Rodgers. He don't deserve $30 million. That was the only time you heard that silliness, when it was the Dallas Cowboy quarterback time to get paid. But with all these guys, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all hear anybody questioning Kyler Murray money? Kyler Murray ain't worth $46 million. If I'm gonna pay my quarterback $40 million, see, that's what they say about Dak. Did you hear anybody question Aaron Rodgers as he stanked it up this year? Did anybody question? No, they still calling him the GOAT, ain't they? Did anybody question Deshaun Watson's $46 million even though he was wet fart this year? Nope. Boy was wet fart. Nobody said a word. But when it's our quarterback, they brainwash our own fans. He ain't worth $40 million. If you go pay him $40 million, he got to be able to carry a team. So the whole time we putting a standard on Dak that he got to be able to carry teams, we literally looking at the same. See, Mahomes, he can carry a team. Oh, he can. But then we look around, and if you really look, what they was doing was building around Mahomes. They giving him Orlando Brown. They giving him Joe Thuney, they giving him Trey Smith. It looked like they was building. But see, that's if you want the truth, bro.
You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
But if you want to be silly, immature, if you don't want to listen to facts, then this ain't the channel, dog. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is just not the channel for you. If you just want to be in your feelings, this is not the place for you, dog. Just be honest with you. So getting back down to it, all right? Because this is the main thing, all right? As we explaining this, I really want the Dallas Cowboys to do a long-term extension. You talking all this about I see him as a 10-year quarterback. And see, this time, let me explain something to y'all that a lot of people ain't gonna explain. This time, Dak would likely take a 6-year deal. Versus he wasn't gonna take it on the first time. And I'm gonna explain why. A lot of people ain't gonna never explain this the right way. I promise you I can explain this. Shannon and say Dak should get his Skip should get his, and Skip said no. All right, so let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought up Skip. So you remember when Dak was trying to get his $40 million? Y'all remember Skip? And see, I hate these type people. See, the people that be saying the wackest stuff about Dak, they always start off with, I love Dak and I like Dak. No, you don't, you hater. You weirdo. I don't think Dak is worth all that money and I like Dak. Man, shut up. Skip Bayless say, I love Dak Prescott, but he's not worth $40 million a year. Do you hear Skip Bayless ever saying that about any other quarterback? Do he say that about any other quarterback? So right now, Dak is 8th on the list. If they didn't extend Dak by next year will be 12th or 13th on the list. But you don't hear nobody saying, boy, that Kyler Murray, he sure ain't worth $40 million. Derek Carr, he wasn't worth that $40 million. It is literally no talk at all about their money and the pocket watch. Not even a peep. But it be us Cowboy fans that be falling for that wee-woo.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
And yeah, they do that all day. People like Skip show up because they know when you dealing with people like me and you, we don't know what the world of 40 million is like. But let me explain it to you like this. In their world, they want to be treated fairly like any one of us. And let me explain to you why Dak would likely do a 6-year to 8-year deal this time, where he wouldn't in no goddamn way go do it the last time. Because the first time, they was insulting the shit out of Dak. I gotta just keep it real. Forgive me for cursing. I should have told y'all I was getting ready to curse, because some of y'all be having kids around. I don't want to curse around your kids. Hey, if y'all heard Uncle Boss curse kids, I apologize. Uncle Boss, he got in his feelings, but I really do apologize if kids heard me curse. But see, this is the deal. Let me keep it all the way real with you. Dak in no way was gonna take a 6-year deal on the first contract. You know why? It's simple, bro. Because the Eagles paid Wentz an average of $32 million per year, and it was a 4-year contract. So how you beat the snot, and they paid Wentz after Dak swept Wentz. They paid Wentz when Wentz had a hurt back. He had to have surgery on his back, and they still set the market on a 4-year contract. So let me just ask you a question. If you Dak, and I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Let's just use our common sense. If you Dak, and you've been whooping this dude up and down, not even in the league, before the league. Let's explain this. It never made no sense for Dak to be drafted in the 4th round. Never. Some of y'all will say, but boss, it was his DWI. Okay. Didn't Jones have 2? The dude who went to New England? 2. Baker Mayfield was caught on camera fleeing the police and tackled like a dog and went 1st overall. You got Dak, who was a Heisman candidate in the SEC with no draft picks as weapons. None. And still led them to #1 in the country. And nobody he played with was drafted. And you mean to tell me Wentz, coming out of some old D2 ass school, was second overall in Goff, and then you got Jared Goff coming out of Cal, who was 7-4, first overall. And so then your whole first 4 years you playing, you made a total of $4.77 million. And you outballed Wentz in college, and you outballed him your first 4 years playing, and then I'm gonna let Dallas come to me and say be team friendly. I'm gonna tell you to kiss my balls. The first thing I'm gonna say is no, I'm not taking that deal because I'm better than that dude over there, and I'm not gonna let y'all show me disrespect and they showing him respect. Y'all not gonna make me be team friendly and they show faith in this dude with a damn bad back. No, I'm not taking no 6-year deal. You gonna pay me a 4-year deal just like them other dudes got. And that's why Dak stood on it. That's why he stood on it. He was like, bro, man, you got me all the way messed up. If you really think I'm gonna be team friendly and I done outball them dudes all the way to heaven. And that's a fact. Dak, his first 4 years, outballed all them boys. Watson, who set the market twice. Goff, who set the market. Wentz set the market. You got all these quarterbacks second the market, and then I'm gonna come in team friendly? No. So this goes to, I'm not playing when I say this, bro. This is documented facts. So Bobby Bell put out this around 2018. He said they're going to pay Dak regardless. So why anyone would be in favor of waiting any longer and letting the market rise is bananas to me. Yeah. And that still applies to this day. If you're talking about extending Dak, and you done said 10 years, I want him to be here 10 years, well, do it. Do it now. Because you should have already learned your lesson from the first time you messed up. See, because guess what? Ian put it out real quick. June 6, 2019. June 6. He said the Eagles extension for QB Carson Wentz averaging $32 million per year is good news for QBs Dak Prescott and Rams QB Jared Goff. Both price tags went up. Why? Because every quarterback and every agent is going to demand that their client be paid just a little bit more than the previous guy. It's not about who's best, it's about who's next. That's why you see people like Kyler Murray actually paid an average per year above Patrick Mahomes, and nobody questions it. But it's only when it's with Dak that we just turn stupid. We just turn dumb. We just turn straight up stupid. Yeah, but this is how it works. And this is also what I'm saying. The best deals, I'm just keeping it real with you. If you saying, okay, if you're a Cowboy fan and you want flexibility and you want to do like what Kansas City did for Mahomes, because see, I know they tell you that all you got to do is get you a Mahomes and they can carry the whole team. But we disproved that today. We showed y'all that they said in 2021 that they was going to restock that offensive line. And we showed y'all to where they restocked that offensive line, didn't we? Didn't I just show y'all that? Didn't I just show y'all them go after Orlando Brown? Yeah, I showed y'all that. Yeah, Orlando Brown was one of the top free agents, and Kansas City restructured Mahomes' 10-year contract to build around him. And I'm thinking we should do the same thing with Dak. Go give Dak one of them 8-year contracts. Do it now. Do it right now. And see, because if you do it now, it's what Blackwell said. I ain't forgot your comment, Blackwell. So you thought I forgot. I ain't forgot. I said I was going to come back to that. Now I'm here with what you said. Remember, Blackwell said you want to do it before these other quarterbacks start getting paid. You want to do it before Watson get paid. Not Watson, Lamar Jackson. You want to do it before Burrow and all them boys start stepping up time to get paid. You want to do it before Herbert step up to the plate. You want to do it before Aaron Rodgers get moved around or somebody like that, and then they reset the market all over again. So since you talking about it now, if you really serious, Dallas, about really opening up your window, Dak should be the first one closed at the start of free agency. The moment free agency starts, it should be announced. Dak has signed a new contract extension at around $50 averaging per year. The total is $402 million, and the total guarantee just set a new all-time record with $235 million. And what this is going to do, Cowboy Nation, is going to be able to give you cap relief instantly. Because remember, it's not about, the window is in the cap hit, not in the average per year. So when people, but see, this is what people go do. Oh, Dak worth $50 million. Y'all crazy. No, go look at that cap hit, dummy. Go look at the cap hit and you will understand why it was smart to extend him. Did you want a cap hit of $13 million or did you want $39 million? What did you want? And this is the other reason why it's smart to do it that way, because remember, I showed y'all that the cap is going to continue to rise. So if you put him on an 8-year contract, he going to have a stable average per year on a rising cap. Let me say that again. He going to have a stable average per year, but the cap is going to continue to rise. So over time, he ends up just like Tyron Smith. He paid big in the beginning. It make big news in the beginning. Everybody like, oh my God, Dak just signed this real big deal. It's going to only be in the headlines for about a month until they sign Lamar Jackson. Until they sign Herbert. And then as soon as they start signing them other guys, it's going to look just like this. It's going to be a little bit bigger than Dak's. Every time. So, obviously when they sign Dak, it's going to be people like Skip that's going to come out there and play on the ignorance of Cowboy fans. And Dak ain't worth $50 million. What the hell was the Dallas Cowboys doing? And they go speak in averages. They not going to speak in cap hit. They going to only speak in averages. Dak is not worth $50 million. That's the average of the contract. That's not the cap hit his first 2 years. And you're not going to talk about the ability to restructure either. You're not going to talk about the fact that this is a long-term contract, which also gives you more room to restructure. So you ain't going to tell all the truth on that. Or you skip. Now, you going to just jump out there just like y'all always do. And guess who else going to do it? Our local media going to do it too. And they also know better. Because they know how to play us against knowledge. They know we don't be knowing this type of stuff. So they play us. They hit us with the wee-woo.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
Your best bet right now, since you're talking about I want Dak for 10 years, well, stop talking. Sign it. Yeah. Don't play like you did last time. Don't be giving him all these deals that was insulting. Stop giving. It was so many times that they was giving us the wee woo. They were saying stuff like Dak turned down 30. They were saying stuff like Dak turned down 30 million. See, they want to tell you the other side though. Why would Dak take 30 million when Wentz got 32? Like, why? And see, some of y'all don't like. Let me say it like this, and this was gonna really make all of us get it. We get caught up in the 40 million because we all got pretty average jobs. So we don't really see this in a sound mind. But in a sound mind, I don't care who you are. You want to be treated fairly. I don't care if you singing in the choir at your church. I don't care if you sweeping as a janitor. I don't care if you work for Wall Street. I don't care what you do. Nobody wants to be treated unfairly. Nobody. So all of us, regardless of our jobs, are going to always measure ourselves by our counterparts. Every one of us. So when your broke ass say, and my broke ass say, "Oh, Dak turned down $30 million. He crazy. Give me that." Yeah, cause you said that cause you broke. I said that cause I'm broke. But when you on Dak level, you like, nah, you not gonna treat me less than Wentz. I'm not gonna watch Deshaun Watson go through all that mess he went through and get paid all that total guarantee, and then y'all come in and y'all lowball me. They gave Deshaun Watson all that bread, and he was in some of the most ickiest rumors. And then if I'm Dak, I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, Dallas. You can pay me less than him.
Oh, hell no.
Now, every one of us want to be treated fairly. And we all will judge ourselves based on our counterparts. So if I'm the best sweeper in the warehouse and my friend over here getting $20 an hour, I'm not taking 18. I sweep better than him. I wash cars, and my friend over there getting $25 an hour, and I'm getting 10. Oh, I quit. I'm Mr. Wall Street broker, and I'm getting $500,000. Then I look at my counterpart who is not even close to me in terms of, you know, evaluating and all that kind of stuff in the stock market, and he getting $2 million. I quit. Yeah. So when you see it like that, you understand why Dak turned down that 4 years on the first contract. So to Blackwell point, come to him right. Come to him right. If you come to Dak right and you finish out for saying, hey, yeah, bro, we finna make you the highest paid. We finna set all kind of records with you, Dak. You finna be in the news. Man, we finna throw so much money at you because you not Romo.
Need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
We've been watching you, Dak. We saw how you act with money. You did not change. Matter of fact, you worked harder.
Need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
Dak, we want to build around you. We made a mistake. We went with Kelly Moore's system. Now we know we got to free up some money so we can build some weapons around you like Kansas City built their offensive line.
Need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, because a lot of y'all sleeping on Dak, y'all gonna mess around and get a crook in your neck, and I'm dead serious.
Sleeping on me now, crook in your neck.
Yup, you gonna mess around and get a crook in your neck. A lot of people don't even see that they setting up Dak for success if they close this deal out right. If they close this deal out right and Dak end up coming out one of the highest paid on a 6 to 8 year contract, bro, y'all, man, and Jerry already talked about weapons. Hold on.
Where he is, so I could gallop as far as his.
No, hold on. Let me show it. Here it is.
This is the logical step to build on it and use what we've established, or if you will, the foundation of the wins we've got. This is a time for us to build on it, and that's what this is. This is a building step.
Offensively, will you keep the same offense, or will you go back to what Mike used to run in Green Bay?
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Ooh, I love that part. Listen, he say, but more importantly, the personnel. Listen.
Of the times, but more importantly, the personnel. But it.
Ooh. So it sounds like Dallas is trying to do what Kansas City did in terms of, and then my boy Stephen White say Rush earned the bag. It depends on how big, Steve. You know what I'm saying? It depends. It all depends on the bag, on how big, because I don't know if he really kind of earned it. Like, depends on the bag. So if the bag on Rush is a reasonable backup price, I would do it. But if it's something to where it's really pushing the envelope, I would not do it. Because when I really look at Cooper Rush, yes, we won those games, but did we really win those games because of him playing quarterback so well? Or was it the fact that the defense was playing outstanding and we had a game plan that was truly complementary football, right? Because around that time we was running the hell out the ball. Mike McCarthy was getting what he wanted in terms of the rushing attempts. So when we was running the ball, that was keeping our defense rested. They played at an elite level, and none of those teams scored over 19, 20 points. And he also had some luck because, you know, people talked about he didn't throw interceptions. Actually, he did. 4 interceptions was dropped versus the Bengals. 2 would have been for a pick 6 if they would have just caught the ball. So if I just kind of look at it, you know, like based on how he literally played, not just based on if they won or not, it depends on how much they talking about paying him. Now, I do like Rush from this standpoint. Rush, I always said, was gritty. And I always said Rush is good enough to at least get you through some games to where you can win half your games if they run a smart game plan with him. But in terms of potential, it depends. If I'm going to lose anybody to pay him, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But maybe Rush did earn his bag, but it just depends on how much. Now, if they throw some real backup money at him, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be real disappointed because I really feel like you can win as good as our defense was and our running game was. We could have won with most quarterbacks if we ran the same game plans we ran with Cooper Rush. But I do like Rush. And I do believe that he do deserve. Yeah, and then B Bird with this comment. I'm just taking y'all comments real quick. He said KC also rebuilt their wide receiver room this season. They did. They did, B Bird. They did. See, that's why all that stuff be frustrating me when I hear this stuff like, see, all you can see, Dak ain't no Mahomes. You know, see Mahomes, he don't need nothing. He carries the whole team. He carries the whole team, but they adding all these people to him. So Juju came from nowhere. Marquez came from nowhere. Y'all remember how Kadarius did Diggs, even though he ain't doing much yet. He can turn on at any time. Travis Kelce ain't the coldest tight end in the league. The last 5 years. He wasn't the coldest tight end. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things to where, yeah, B Bird. That's why we gotta just tell the truth, B. That's the only thing we can do. We just tell the people the truth, you know. Hopefully they receive it. But we just telling them the truth. All these things they usually say about Dak is 100% lies. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's 100% lies. Like all this stuff about real quarterbacks can carry a team, and then you actually go look at that team, you see them consistently adding to those people, not taking away. So let me ask you a question. Do you think Diggs helped Allen or hurt him? What y'all think? See, everybody, they be on. Everybody be on Joe Burrow sack, right? They love, Dak is not no Joe Burrow. He is not. He is not. Can we really take a real honest look at what Joe Burrow throwing to? I call Chase Sterling Sharp going into the league. Sterling Sharp. You telling me if Dak had Higgins and Chase, y'all really think Dak wouldn't be super balling? Not just balling, super balling. And see, some of y'all don't even know your own quarterback. See, when Dak had Amari, CeeDee Lamb, and Cobb, and Gallup, Dak was on pace to throw for 6,600 yards. He was getting ready to super slaughter the all-time record in yardage. He was getting ready to slaughter it. Nobody was going to even be close. But they brainwashed us to really think Dak is top 10 only. He's around top 10. No, Dak is around top 5. And sometimes Dak is literally the best quarterback in the league. Sometimes, some games. Playoff game 1, he was the best quarterback out of all quarterbacks in the playoffs. Period. So yeah, man. So I want to really break this down because I honestly knew that most people wasn't really kind of explaining this. They really weren't explaining this right. And I want to really kind of go back into my bag, my finance bag, you know, because that's my background. I got a finance degree, so I'm very comfortable with numbers. I think I'm a pretty good teacher, so I know how to explain stuff and try to make complicated stuff simple, right? So from this, hopefully y'all can see that basically, man, it's a window. And it's a window that's going to be wide open if if front office is, let me just say it straight up, unless Stephen Jones not being foolish like he was the first time. Because Stephen Jones, honestly, man, he admitted this himself, so I'm not even talking bad about him. Stephen Jones was just, honestly, can I be real with y'all? Stephen Jones was frankly very silly on the first contract. He was silly. He wasted so much money trying to be right. He wasted so much money. I calculated that Stephen Jones threw away about $60 million plus. $60 million. See, let me show y'all something. If y'all think I'm playing, I'm gonna take y'all to the numbers real quick. So look at 2020 and the highest player in terms of the cap hit. Oops. Oh man. Let me go back. Let me do it like this. Come on. That's what I needed right there, okay? This is what I needed. Let me show y'all something real quick. This go open your eyes a little bit. So in 2020, the highest player by cap. Now listen, the highest player by the cap in 2020 was Dak. Wait, he didn't have no contract in 2020? Exactly. Because Stephen Jones tagged Dak. Instead of going ahead and giving him a top contract, he tagged Dak. And a lot of people don't know this, but the tag comes out of the cap dollar for dollar in 1 year. You can't finance it. You can't spread it out. That $31 million we will never get back. Just because Stephen Jones was trying to hardball Dak and trying to force him to be team friendly. And this is the worst part about this $31 million. This $31 million was the cost of 5 games. Remember, it was 2020 where Dak hurt his ankle. They paid Dak $31 million for 5 games. Talking about cap hit. Yeah, Stephen greatly dropped the ball. As some of y'all don't know this, but Dak was eligible for a contract in 2018 when the average market, or the average per year at that time, at its highest was $28 million. If we would have signed Dak before Wentz, we could have easily signed him for 28, 29, at the most 30 million. And if it would have been before Wentz, it likely would have been a 6-year contract because Dak had nobody to compare himself to because nobody else was paid yet. So he would have likely accepted that deal, especially being on a 4th round, $600,000 a year contract. He would have took that money. See what I'm saying? So when you look at how we managed the way that we managed Dak was just honestly foolish. And Stephen Jones admitted it. He said my biggest mistake ever was waiting to pay Dak. Yeah. People don't know how big that mistake was. So when a lot of people be like, we don't go all in on free agency. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but we had around $90 million in available cap space in 2019. And we sucked a third of it up tagging Dak. Think about how many players you could have got for $60 million if you add up the real cost of waiting. The cost of waiting was big. So what Black talked about, William Black, that's why they need to go ahead and go big. Go big. Don't talk about it. Go ahead and open up your window. Open it up. Offer him a beautiful, market-setting, long-term contract before anybody else hit the market. Have him close by March. If you close him by March, the start of free agency, you're going to be able to free up a whole lot of money to pay your existing players and to likely make a splash in free agency, just like Kansas City did. See, Kansas City didn't solve all their problems through the draft. They knew they needed to help Mahomes because he was running for his life in the Super Bowl. Instead of talking dumb like our fans did, like, oh, Dak's supposed to be able to carry them. Dak is not worth $40 million because he don't carry them. Nobody in Kansas City was saying that stupid stuff. They was like, you know what? Yeah, we saw Mahomes running for his life, so this is what we go do. Go get Orlando Brown. We go draft us a 2nd round guard. We go also acquire us another guard, top level guard. And this time, he ain't gonna be running for his life. Mahomes gonna be able to stand in that pocket and be our franchise quarterback. But if you talk to Dallas fans, see, why everything gotta be perfect for Dak? Why you gotta get him offensive line? If he was a real quarterback, he wouldn't need all that. Why Dak need weapons? Dak need more weapons? He need more weapons. Well, yeah. Burrow got the top weapons. Allen got top weapons. You see what they did for Hurts? They went and got him the best available free agent receiver on the market, A.J. Brown. They got him the Heisman winning receiver. We gave Dak Noah Brown as a number 2. It said this is going to replace Amari. All right, look, y'all. It's too many people in the building. So with this amount of people in the building, we got to get them likes up, man. Let's get them likes up. And we just appreciate y'all rocking with Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Hopefully, y'all kind of see where I'm coming from now. I couldn't wait to kind of talk about this one because I knew a lot of people was kind of misunderstanding and not really kind of seeing the opportunity we have if we start our window with Dak. Because remember, Dak was the last one to get paid. He was the last one, and I always said this. I say, what do we all do when we got to pay our bills first? We all prioritize our mortgage and our rent first. Nobody that's smart prioritizes the light bill over the mortgage, do you? No. we all pay for the highest bill and the most important bill first. Dallas paid for their highest bill last. Super womp womp weird. My boy Deron Baker with the super chat said, man, great show tonight, man. I hope you really felt this, man, because I know a lot of people really didn't understand this contract stuff, and you know, I can definitely dig into that stuff, man. So if it was insightful, just share the content, man. Send it to people. Y'all make sure y'all share this content, because a lot of people really are getting played. They getting the wee woo.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
And also make sure y'all check out the OC's latest video. He literally smashed that video. Oh my God. Let me show y'all this real quick. The OC super duper smashed this video. I'm talking about, if you ain't seen this video yet, that Brian Schottenheimer, oh my God. The OC, boy, y'all gotta go check that out. But man, obviously we got the final word tomorrow. The OC is also dropping a video on Pollard in the future with tagging him, so that's gonna be out tomorrow. So we got that, we got the final word, and we got more and more content coming. I always appreciate y'all coming in. I really appreciate y'all and spreading this word, making our voice matter. And I'm gonna continue y'all to do my best to try to give y'all the best content available, try to be as accurate as possible, and hopefully coming out of the Boss Cowboy Sports channel that y'all really have a much better understanding of the Cowboys and their moves. But until then, y'all stay up, and I'm out. Peace out.
Run it up.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Another one.
Yep.
Everybody around me shooters, ain't no telling who was shooting.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit. Huh.
Run it up.
Let's go.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interception like Romo.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Sleeping on me, get a crook in your neck.
Sleeping on me now, crook in your neck.
Keep sleeping on me.
Another one.